Today's sponsor is 3D Bear, an amazing augmented reality programming app for the classroom. Join us next Wednesday, December 19th at 9 p.m. Eastern for the Teaching with Augmented Reality webinar. Stay tuned at the end of the show to learn how to register. So this week, it's that time again. We are finishing up by counting down the top 5 episodes of season 4. So coming in at number 5 is 5 creative Googley tech tools to get kids creating with Evan Mosier.
The 10-Minute Teacher Podcast with Vicki Davis. Every weekday, you'll learn powerful, practical ways to be a more remarkable teacher today.
So today we're talking with Evan Mosier from Davenport, Iowa, where he's a technology integrator and lead teacher. Now, I saw Evan this summer at ISTE on the Ditch Book panel. Shout out to our mutual friend, Matt Miller, because it was such an epic panel. And I just immediately started contacting everybody on the panel because they all had so many great ideas. So, Evan, today we're going to talk about 5 cool, creative, googly tech tools to get those kids creating and inventing. What is your first one?
This one is centered on Google Drawing. It's a poster project, believe it or not. It's basically what I love about Google Drawing is you can kind of mold it to whatever you want. So with this one, we set the size of a Google Drawing at 11 by 17, which is kind of a bigger poster size. And in our social studies classrooms, the students picked a country and received a template from the teacher, and then they were able to, input the flag and all the information they got, and basically like a travel poster they were able to create. So based on using their Chromebooks, they were able to kind of generate this thing. What was really cool about the whole project was once they got all done on their Chromebooks, the teacher shared the folder with me, and then I sent it away to our print shop where they were printed on cardstock and in color. We had a ton of country posters that lined our hallways based on the creations of these students just on their Chromebooks. And then they had a little token of creation that went home with them at the end of the year, which that was really cool.
When kids create things, kids don't want wastebasket work. Whether it's a digital wastebasket where it just rots away digitally, or whether they turn it into the teacher and it goes into the trash can. So when you have these authentic digital artifacts that are meaningful that others can learn from, it really makes a difference, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. What's our second?
The second one is kind of my favorite, if you will. It was a Google Classroom banner project that I did with the kids. Again, molding the Google Drawing size. We changed from inches to pixels, and we went 800 by 200. And basically, when I gave it in my classroom, I said, design this and decorate this however you wish. And so the students were kind of confused at what was going on because it's this long rectangle that they're putting pictures in and that kind of stuff. What happened is in classroom, of course, when they turned everything in, I was able to download those as JPEGs, and then I turned those into the Google Classroom banner. So every day or every couple days, I would change the banner. And then when the students would log in, they would say, hey, that's my banner on our Google Classroom. And it's such a powerful tool. It got the kids engaged and got them excited to log into Google Classroom and see what was going on, and more importantly, to see which banner was chosen that day. So it was a really, really neat project.
It's kind of like a mini classroom doodle for Google, but they're doodling for their classroom, huh?
Absolutely. Yeah, I love that way to put it. Yes. And it was, I would put one as the banner, and then I'd get, several others saying, well, when's mine going to go? Why can't you put mine up there? So it was really, really cool.
I bet some wanted to go back and redo it when they figured out what it was for, huh?
Well, some did. Yeah.
That authentic audience, it makes a difference. Okay. So both of those were done in Google Drawing, right?
Yep.
Okay. What's our third?
The third one is staying in Google Drawing, and it's a timeline project that I helped another teacher do. This was the teacher that was referenced at the Ditch panel. It was a gentleman who really, really was kind of apprehensive about the Chromebook and going one-to-one and that kind of stuff, and we've kind of shifted that mindset and to the students, and then he was able to use Google Drawing to create a timeline project. So again, we basically just did, I don't even remember the exact size, but it was like 17 by 11, I think, is something close to that, a longer, narrow poster. And then we basically set dates, and then the kids were able to insert images and type in some notes. And then what was really neat, since we're on Google, if they found a cool YouTube video, they could just insert that hyperlink into their timeline. So it was kind of this neat showcase of knowledge that the students created just by simply putting dates on the timeline. It was really neat.
Oh, awesome. Okay, what's our fourth?
We're going to jump over to Google Slides for this one. This one's a collaborative project, and what I did was I created 28 slides. I had 28 kids in my class, and what it was all too often the district will push out extensions, and there'll be add-ons and stuff that students use all the time or might see all the time, but not necessarily know what they're for. So what I did was I created a list of those, and then I basically assigned a number to them and had students pick a number. And so, for example, a student may have gotten the Alice Keeler gradebook split, and then they're to research that and decorate their slide as they see it. Or they might have gotten the Easy Bib extension, so they were to research that and make a slide on that. So what it was by the time it was all done, we had 28 slides that students had created on the tools that they see every day, but maybe don't know what they do. So all of those other students that didn't get to research that one tool knew what in the world those little icons all over their Chromebook were. So,
and I bet the teachers liked it too.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure. I think some of the kids even went and taught some other teachers of, did you know that this does this?
Yeah, it's so convenient. And it's such a masterful use of the jigsaw technique, except you're doing it digitally, aren't you?
Absolutely. Yeah, it was really, really fun. I enjoyed it just watching the kids get into something that they probably would have never, been interested in.
What a great way to even start the school year with your Chromebooks. I mean, that's such a fantastic Google Slide deep dive into all the extensions and add-ons. That's fantastic. Okay, what's our fifth?
Okay, our final one, I'm going to give a huge shout out to Matt Miller here of Ditch That Textbook on a Choose Your Own Adventure project. Within Google Slides, you can, of course, insert links to other slides, which makes the Choose Your Own Adventure essentially work. So a lot of students would do like the trip one where they would be in their driveway deciding on where to go. Do they go north, south, east, or west? And then based on the direction they chose, they could visit different landmarks or what have you. But what I really found was awesome is I said, here's what you're going to do. You're going to do this choose your own adventure, but I'm not going to limit what you're going to do. You can do a trip. You can do whatever you want, so long as your links all mesh and you kind of have an adventure, so to speak, moving through the slides. A couple of my favorite ones, if I can. One was where the students were with a friend exploring the forest behind their house, and they come upon an abandoned house. So do you choose to enter the house for one, or do you choose to run the other way? You hear a noise. Do you go towards the noise or away from it? You see all the cobwebs around. Do you enter into the kitchen through the cobwebs, or do you not? You start to hear doors creaking. It's just kind of this walk through this abandoned house that these kids had created and then applied into Google Slides. So as you were clicking along, you kind of felt the anxiety clicking, and you got to eventually lead either away or you got caught by someone who had lived there or something. It was really, really cool. And one other one was a sports one. The gentleman, it was kind of around the start of the NBA season, and he was really interested in it. So his was, I have two interview offers, one with ESPN and one with TNT. And here are the athletes I can choose with ESPN, here with TNT. So you choose one of those, and then you get the opportunity, okay, do you follow this one to Chicago or Boston? So you get to choose that. So he had this kind of a web of two networks that you kind of got the feel of, okay, I'm working with ESPN, I'm working with TNT, I'm talking to these players, I'm visiting these arenas, I'm asking these questions. So it was just really, really cool to say, here are your parameters, here's what I want you to do with them, and go. And it was so powerful to see what the students had created.
And this sort of branched thinking or computational thinking it's like I said, it's part of computational thinking, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and it can get these choose your own adventure stories, They can get so complex just thinking through the branches. So this was really a creativity project?
Yes.
Well, and it's important. Creativity, here in the United States, creativity scores have been declining for the first time in history using a test called the Rainbow Test. And we know that the jobs that will remain in more advanced countries will be those requiring creativity. So allowing kids to create and invent is so very important. So his name is Evan Mosier from Davenport, Iowa. We have 5 awesome ideas. Evan, thank you so much. 3D Bear is a fun augmented reality app for the classroom. It links together augmented reality and me and my students. Augmented reality is a new tool for the classroom and needs new pedagogies. Join us Wednesday night, December 19th at 9 p.m. Eastern, as I co-moderate a panel of augmented reality teacher enthusiasts as we discuss the pedagogies of augmented reality in the classroom. To register, go to coolcatteacher.com/AR webinar and join us. Also, stay tuned for a blog post review of 3D Bear on the Cool Cat Teacher blog. So again, you can register at coolcatteacher.com/AR webinar. It's going to be fun. I hope you can join us.
Thank you for listening to the 10-Minute Teacher Podcast. You can download the show notes and see the archive at coolcatteacher.com/podcast. Never stop learning.